This is Morten from Inkish. I'm here with my good friend Benjamin Bösch from Koenig Bauer Durst.
Hello, Morten. Nice to meet you again here.
Good to see you. Benjamin, if you look back at your career, when I talk to customers and people about the digital transformation, you are a living evidence of being that digital transformation, right?
Yes, fully, because I'm now in the age of 45 and my background is going to manroland web offset presses. I was there as a project manager, and later on I go in 2012 after Drupal to HP, and I've sold the Indigos and the web offset presses. And then in 2019 I made the step to Landa, and I'm really pleased that I'm now working for a company who are living this both worlds. So it means on the traditional side from offset, and on the other side the digital printing part.
The reason I was asking about is just because, I mean, having the experience, when you go and talk to customers, it must be fantastic to have that. Let's say if you come in and you don't have that personal experience, you can talk about textbook examples, right? Yeah. But you know how it works, basically, right?
Maybe I know. I expected to know a lot of things, what we can do in this territory. You have on one hand the commercial printing, you have on the other side the packaging business, and on this point there was a lot of differences what came up in the past. We are talking about online printing, which came up I think more than 20 years ago, and there was a tiny one, and now it's a major topic. And they are not stepped so far and so deeply into the packaging business. They try, but the ordering process, how to get your packaging, if it's corrugated or it's a folding carton, it's more or less on a traditional way in the past. Some of them are starting in that business, and now with Koenig Bauer Durst, we are trying to elaborate this market as well, because we are seeing, and all of us seeing, that the demands from the market are coming to have more SKUs, to have small run-lengths in the end, and this we are covering with Koenig Bauer Durst.
One of the questions I had during the morning session, where Ralf Schlöser had a great presentation of the, let's say, the status of the packaging industry right now. My question was, from the commercial printing side, you see more and more online print, but you also see more and more like consolidated print orders coming in from Cloud Printer, from Ingram, from Amazon, and these kind of things, and that have changed the commercial space and the business models entirely. Right now, I'm under the impression that the packaging industry is more like account-based sales, where you can basically go out and have an account that turns hundreds of thousands of euros a year, and therefore it is still like a valid value proposition to have salespeople. Do you think that same transformation will happen in the packaging industry over time?
I guess it will happen as well, because what happens to the industry in general is a topic that working people, employees of these companies are decreasing. It's hard for them to get people in the printing PSPs companies and also at the packaging companies. So they have the need of automatization of the whole process. There is only one part, the digital printing, but also how the job comes in, how they are making their, I would say, the connection to their end customers on a weekly basis, on the monthly basis, that they have not so many salespeople anymore, and also in the process later on, I expect they will reduce it as well. So technology is one key factor what they have to look into.
And of course, I mean, the selling let's say, process is of course one of them, the printing process and all the pre-pressing. I think that one of the things that is also interesting in the Koenig Bauer Durst setup is how you utilize the software technology from Durst, because the software becomes more and more important in understanding the entire value chain of print, right? I mean, what is your impression of the Durst software?
We heard it today at the open house and where we had really a great presentation of the workflow and software solutions what Durst can provide in general. 100 employees which are dedicated to software development, it's a lot. Yeah. And when you're having this in the background, in the joint venture, you can make use of it. Yeah? The software solution, from my point of view, is needed that you get the job. When you don't have a job, then you couldn't print it anything. So and to bring it through the total process of production and making the logistic afterwards and sending it out to the customer. This is not happening when you're not having a real good software solution and e-commerce solution. So don't underestimate what Durst is doing here on the e-commerce side as well. And then we can decide if it's a traditional way of production with analog offset presses, or is it on one other side the SPC 130 for the corrugated side, or for the smaller side the Durst solution. So it's a variety of solutions you can provide with your customers, also based on the software solution what Durst is bringing in here.
You have only been here a couple of weeks, or a week or something like this. So very new still.
Yeah, for me, really new. Yeah.
So what is the expectation? I mean, what are you going to do here?
From my perspective, the role I'm filling out is a sales director for the Koenig Bauer Durst joint venture. That's the first time that they're having a sales director directly in the joint venture. You know, there are sales guys on the Durst side, there are sales guys on the Koenig Bauer side. Both of them will keep in the markets, be the direct contact to the customers. And in parallel, there are also key account management colleagues here at Koenig Bauer and at Durst. And from my perspective and from my position, I'm now trying to manage these. Who is responsible for what? And drive the sales in that direction. What's the need of them? Do they need samples? Do they need a demo? Do they need a TCO calculation? And how we can build it internally at the joint venture.
So that basically means that, let's say that people are interested in a VarioJet, for example. That basically means that if they meet Durst salespeople or they meet Koenig Bauer salespeople, they can start the journey there. Yes. And then basically they take it into you and your organization to continue the conversation.
There is on the VarioJet side, Mike Laubin, my colleague on the Koenig Bauer side, who is dealing all the VarioJet projects. And this is a key person in that case. I'm not replacing him. He is a person who's doing this. On the other side, I have the Durst organizations for the SPC mainly, but there is also connections between Durst organizations and Koenig Bauer organization in each territory. But this is really, you have to look into each country separately.
So Benjamin, since the 2016 Drupa, a long time ago, right? Yes. Have you learned with all the things you have done in the meanwhile that it is maybe not that easy to sell digital packaging presses?
In general, it's not easy to sell conventional presses and also digital printing presses. What I have seen is that the connection between suppliers and customers are getting more stronger, especially during the time of COVID. They are looking into strong partnerships. Yes, in the end, it was maybe sold less, and I'm feeling now we are shortly before Drupa, and a lot of sales are kept back and will happen at Drupa or after Drupa, because this will give us a momentum when you're looking at last Drupas in the past, that this is it's a driver for sure.
When you, I mean, you have a broad network, of course, and there's always like limitations to how you can use it because it's built during different times of your life, right? Yes. But I was just thinking that when you announced just a few days ago that you were starting in your new position here, what was the initial reactions? I mean, did you get anything that indicates that you are having, let's say, a few, let's say, hot customers or prospects?
This is really strong to answer these questions.
I'm sorry, you know how it is, right?
Yeah, it is. So when you're leaving a company and stepping into a new company, I've done it 4.5 years ago from HP to Landa, and it was the same situation I'm in here. I guess a lot of people were surprised that I've made the step because I'm working for a company till the last day. I'm with them. And I'm completely standing for that company, yeah. And I was not questioning that, but I was just thinking that, you know, I mean, I don't even think about technology. I was just thinking specifically that, you know,
it's not all machines that fits all customers, of course, right? So that was just thinking that with the network that you built up since manroland days till now, when you announced that you're working for Koenig Bauer Durst, I was just thinking that maybe there was somebody saying that, wow, that sounds great, let's talk, right? It could have been like that, right?
Yeah, some people coming up in that space, yeah, for sure. And I'm happy that my network is also reacting on this change and is supportive in that case. Maybe some people who are not showing up are not so happy about it, but they are not showing up at that case. But I'm really happy that people are in my network is supporting me in this way.
Last thing, congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
Morten, thanks to have you here and seeing you again here in Germany. Thanks.
Definitely.